Hello everybody, JohnScript12 back here again with another video. Today I bring you my final part into my previously ongoing segment on my channel, which is making a Dragon Ball live action franchise. As you all know, I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball. I've always been a big fan ever since I was a little kid, and it's always been my dream to one day go into the theater and sit down and finally have a Dragon Ball film be presented to me. And seeing as how America has the rights to creating that, to making that dream a reality, they haven't really done a good job at trying to, accomplish the project. And seeing as how tons of fans on the internet have made it their goal to show that, it is possible to make a Dragon Ball live action property work. And I just like to think that I am up there with all these other people trying to encourage that. Now, granted, ever since I started this whole segment, and ever since I started the topic in my channel, there's always going to be the 50-50 people. There's always going to be, the minority of people over here who are like, you know what, Dragon Ball, I like it as an anime, and I want it to always be an anime, and I don't really believe that anime should be adapted to live-action movies, specifically for a North American audience. And I can see where you're coming from. I mean, anime movies in and of itself haven't really done the greatest of jobs at, really destroying the box office, or really winning over critics, or really, making mainstream media go crazy, but I still believe I'm such a hardcore fan that I believe that it could be possible. And what better property to start off with than one of the greatest anime properties, Dragon Ball. The Dragon Ball legacy, the Dragon Ball story as it stands is so amazing. It's so fantastical, and it's so, beautifully done. And it's one of those things that every single person can get into, whether you're a kid, you're a grown-up, you're a teenager, you're an old... I don't care who the fuck you are. You just can get into these characters and fall in love with them. I mean, if it wasn't for my generation getting into Dragon Ball Z the time it came out, I don't think anybody who was, into martial arts would want to... It's kind of like our parents back in the 70s. When you grew up in the 70s, you were like, Bruce Lee's the shit. Bruce Lee's the reason why I took karate and was I wanted to be a martial artist. That was kind of like... Dragon Ball Z was like that for us anime fans. If it wasn't for Dragon Ball Z, we wouldn't even be into, into sports, martial arts, anime, cartoons, all this wacky, crazy Japanese stuff. If it wasn't for Dragon Ball Z, we wouldn't even be into that stuff. And that's how I like to think of it. And I'm just trying to say, people who continue to discount Dragon Ball as a property, that and trying to discount anime as a genre that can't be adapted to live action movies. Here's my thing and how I think that's wrong, and I think it should grow into something else. First off, you have to look at it in realistic terms. From here on out, everybody's going to be living in the movie theaters. Think of that for a second. From here on out, for the next 2 decades, we are going to be dominated by straight-up comic book movies, let alone all the other, nonsense that's going to be coming out during those times, the standalone, good drama movies, and, the stupid girlfriend fucking romance shit, the comedies, or, your good original movies. Excluding those, and also excluding, your kid-friendly movies and your fucking franchise movies like the Hobbit movies or the Harry Potter franchise or what have you. We're going to be dominated by comic book movies. Comic book movies are going to be dominating the box office from here on out until the end of time, basically. I just think if that's going to happen, why can't anime try and get in that? Right now, the biggest movie that's going to be coming out is Age of Ultron. And I'm pretty sure everyone who's watching this video has possibly already seen the Age of Ultron trailer. When I look at that trailer, all I think is Jesus, if only Dragon Ball Z had, that type of, standard of, quality trailer, we would be so fucking rich and famous right now. We would just be so destroyed as as just fans as like, this is so awesome. And that's what I want one day. That's what I want. I want to go on the internet or the portal or whatever the fuck we're going to have in the future, because we all know that shit's going to go down. I want to fucking go up, open some link and be like, bam, that's the fucking trailer to Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or wherever the fuck anybody wants to go with. And that is how it's presented to me. That's what I want. And that's what I'm trying to sit here and try and encourage, people out there. You still are holding up to your guns. You still don't believe that it could happen or it should happen. And I'm not saying you shouldn't believe that. I'm just trying to say, think differently. Try to think differently. Try to embrace the fact that this could happen. So that's what I'm trying to do. But nevertheless, let's get right down into this final segment. I'm going to try and make this as long as possible, seeing as how it is my final section into my segment. So let's get right down to it. First off, I'm going to be doing something I haven't really normally done on this segment, which is answering some questions. I've gotten various questions from people who have commented on my Dragon Ball Z live-action franchise videos, and I just want to comment on them. The first one being by Benjamin Fenty. I think that's how you say his username. His statement is pretty long, so bear with me, folks. But I'm just going to read it through. Essentially, this is what he said. I agree, and he commented on my Future of a Dragon Ball Z, live-action franchise video. So, okay, starting off with this comment. I agree, though I also wouldn't mind a sequel to Dragon Ball Evolution. Now, I'm going to stop right there and be like, I'm not going to bash you, Benjamin. All I can say is that I'm highly disagreeing with you right off the bat, because I think the fact that you agree with me and what have you, but at the same time, I don't want to see a sequel to Dragon Ball Evolution. For those of you who are wondering, there was plans to do a sequel to Dragon Ball Evolution, but then ever since the poor commercial and critical success, if you will, of Dragon Ball Evolution, they decided not to do that anymore. And then they just scrapped the idea of ever doing Dragon Ball anything ever again. So, which is sad, but it's true. So yeah, I'm not really in the group of fans who want to see a sequel of Dragon Ball Evolution. But yeah, what are you gonna do? Nevertheless, continuing with this comment, the movie might not have been what fans wanted, myself included, but I still enjoyed it. Now, as for a reboot, let's understand the facts. First, true Man of Steel had anime influence. Now, for those of you who are kind of trying to understand what he's trying to get at, is that, like, in that video, I specifically compared Dragon Ball Z live-action movie to the Man of Steel movie, and that's what he's trying to get at. So, for those of you who are wondering, anyways, Man of Steel had anime influence in it, and it made a lot of money, but it still cost $225 million to make. It's a reasonable price, but it's also a risky one. I mean, could you imagine Man of Steel making back only half its budget? It would have been a huge financial failure. Thank God it wasn't. So if a reboot was to be made, it would have to cost as much as Man of Steel. Also, there's the matter of story. I know the story of Goku from beginning to end, but when you really think about it, Dragon Ball has a very complex story. Not only that, but it takes place in a rather abstract universe. For example, on Earth, there's dinosaurs, anamorphic animals, and cars that come from capsules. Also, there's 7 orange Dragon Balls that, when brought together, summon the dragon and then grant someone one wish. For the reboot, things like that need to be explained first and foremost. Then there's the characters and their outfits. The one thing that makes Japanese animated characters so unique is their hair, and they come in various styles and colors. So that might have to be altered so that film can be taken seriously. So the film could be taken seriously. As for the outfits, they also have to be made to be taken seriously, especially Goku's outfit. Lastly, the film should have the original creator, Akira Toriyama, as the creative consultant, and some of his suggestions should at least make it to the final cut. That's all I have to say, but if you want to petition this film be made, I'd be happy to join you, as would many DBC fans. Well, Benjamin, thank you for your comment. It's highly appreciated. I love getting comments on Dragon Ball Z live-action videos that I started, so thank you for that. Some of the things I do agree with your statements, some I don't. First off, I already stated the first one, but secondly, I don't think in today's world it's hard to accomplish something as fantastical as Dragon Ball, because even though Dragon Ball does have a complex story, it's done so simplistically, if you will, that it's possible that you can do it. You know, I mean, like if you have, let's say, if you have an unlimited budget and you have a humongous studio backing you, and they give you like a good outline of movies they want you to plan out. Like, let's say you have like a good handful, like 5 movies in the works. You can spend like half of your movie just explaining the origins of majority of your characters and the first basic outline, the first basic saga of Dragon Ball in that one half of the movie, and then you can just continue going on and on and on. So it's not really hard to do that. And plus, with comic book movies that have been so fantastical nowadays, it's not hard for, you know, anime to do that. Like back in the day when Dragon Ball Evolution came out, it obviously could not succeed. It had so many things going wrong with it, you know, because that was in the era of movies having to be very ultra realistic, you know, like the Nolan movies or the early Marvel movies. But now, seeing as how Disney and Marvel Studios have proven that you can be lighthearted and fantastical, same thing with Warner Brothers TV series, The Flash and stuff like that, it's proven that you can make something that has very superhero characters but be very fantastical storylines and lighthearted, you know, characters and whatnot. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that you can do that now. Although I do feel that the various examples you pointed out with the Dragon Ball universe, you know, like with the dinosaurs and the anamorphic animals or the cars or technological capsules, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility of being able to explain each one. I think it's actually kind of comedic the way you can do them. Like, obviously, the Capsule Corporation technology is super easy to explain. I mean, like, Dragon Ball Evolution, even though it sucked, they did a good job at, like, explaining it pretty decently. It's like, okay, here's the Brief family. They're basically the Steve Jobs Apple company of Dragon Ball. They developed the capsules. But that's kind of like if today you just grab an iPod, you throw it on the ground, it becomes a truck. That's essentially what Dragon Ball is doing. So it's kind of simple to pull that off. The 7 Dragon Balls, you have to have them, you know, like whether you're doing, you know, whatever story arc you're doing, Dragon Balls have to be explained, and that could be done in like 5 to 10 minutes easy in a movie. Same thing about the other characters, like dinosaurs, anamorphic animals. My idea is that you would have to change the origins of how dinosaurs and anamorphic people in the Dragon Ball universe work. That's the only thing that I have. You could do them, just change the origins of how they work into the Dragon Ball universe, then it works. But then again, or you can just cut them out of the movie, and there you have it. But seeing as how a lot of people have kind of come down on me of making Dragon Ball a little too realistic of a franchise, I say, go fantastical, fuck it, why not? If we got the money, we can have the bitches. I'm sure that doesn't make sense, but you know what I'm getting at. Anyways, moving off of that, going into your other topics in your comment, basically the hairstyles. Now, this is something a lot of people have been talking about a lot over the course of me doing this, and a lot of people who have been trying to accomplish good hairstyles. I've seen multiple cosplayers throughout the internet try to accomplish good hairstyles with these characters, you know, like Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, you know, Teen Gohan, Trunks. There's so many characters that have wacky hairstyles that have been tried to get a good style on. Now, I don't think it's impossible, and here's why. First off, I've seen tons of cosplayers do an actual good job. There's a lot of bad ones, and there's a lot of really bad ones, but there's a good number of good ones out there that have pulled off a good-looking Goku hairstyle or a good-looking Teen Gohan hairstyle, so I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to pull off the hairstyles in Dragon Ball, in a live-action Dragon Ball movie. But if it bothers some people out there, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start out like a little test here. Anybody who watches these videos or anybody who's been a fan of these videos, I want to see a good test of, or a contest of people out there to try and create your version of a live action Dragon Ball character's hairstyle, like whether it be Goku, Vegeta, what have you. Try and accomplish it, and you can do it any way you want it. I say try and make it real, try and use a wig, or try and go CG with it, because I always wondered, like, that's always been something I've been wanting to try, and I thought, like, you know what, why wouldn't, like, have your actor wear a wig, but then again, like, in post, to make it more flowing and to make it feel more like the anime, why not CGI it, But some good CGI, none of that fucking fanboy, Photoshop element type shit, where it looks just kind of weird looking. Some big budget money, movie money to make it look good. But nevertheless, that's what I have to say about that. And the last thing I'm going to say is the two last topics in your comment, the outfits and Akira Toriyama. Well, starting off with the outfits, specifically Goku's outfit, and I've actually had this idea for a while now, is that my original idea, and this is if I was like, looking outward as like as like an outline for a live action franchise. If I was looking at the franchise as the creator, as the developer, this is what I would do. In every single set of movies, and even in the anime when you look closely, Goku's outfit changes from each arc. That's how I would do it. Like, every single movie that passes, his outfit changes. And whether it be small changes or big changes, his character changes and his outfit should change with him. And my big idea came from the Captain America franchise. When you look at the Captain America franchise, every single time you see Cap, his fucking outfit changes. Whether it be from First Avenger to the Avengers and to the Winter Soldier and to now with Age of Ultron, his outfit changes every single time, and it gets better looking every single time. And that's how I think of, like, how Goku's outfit should be. Like, it's very iconic, obviously, and, the red or orange, blue, and the dark blackish kind of boots are very iconic with Goku's outfit. So I don't think... I'm not trying to sit here and say, like, you should change that all around. I'm just trying to say is that try and be as faithful as you can, but try to make it very, combat worthy, because Goku's obviously a warrior, he's a fighter, he's a martial artist, so it must resemble Gi as much as possible, but also feel very, like, kinda Captain America-esque, if you will, in terms of superhero combat-wise, because... Even though I still believe that Goku's outfit in the live-action movies should stay very close to a gi, which it should be, I still feel that it should obviously be very movie-wise. So that's just me. And to your last topic, having Akira Toriyama as a creative consultant for a live-action franchise, if I'm not thinking out of the realm of possibility, I think the people who created Dragon Ball Evolution and Fox didn't really have Toriyama work with them with the project. I heard Toriyama talk about this some interviews, and he basically stated that that overall, when it came to the project, like, he basically told them what they should do, and they kind of told him, like, to just fuck off, basically, and everything that he wanted in the action movie did not get in. And he said it was just a horrible process. For me personally, if I was going to direct, or not only direct, but develop these movies, a Dragon Ball live-action franchise, my first thing would to have Toriyama be on the project. I would love to have Toriyama as, like, executive producer, or like some type of creative consultant, or something like that, because Toriyama is an idea man, like, seeing as he's a good idea man. I mean, like, that's what he does with the movies, if you look at all the DBZ movies, all of them are done based off ideas from him, or based off designs by him. So he's good at coming up with ideas. So that's what I would want him to come on as. I would tell him, I would sit him down, or have a webcam between the two, or whatever. I'd rather see him in person, for the sake of the project. But I would basically just sit down, talk to him for a little while, basically trying to get what he wants out of the franchise, what I want out of the franchise. I would like to share ideas with him, hear his ideas, what he would want to see, and basically go on from there. I'm not saying that Akira Toriyama should, like, Like, I'm not saying, like, you should, like, everything he says you should do. I'm just trying to say is that I would want him to actually have something to do, and I would want him to know what I'm doing. That's the thing, because it kind of, I would feel bad as a Dragon Ball fan to be like, you know what, I just told him to fuck off, I didn't use any of his ideas, and none of his ideas made it in the picture. I would feel bad at that fact, you know? So I would surely, like, have him involved, you know, I would personally have him involved. Would I have him deeply involved? I don't know if I would do that, you know, because, you know, you don't see Stan Lee, like, fucking with the Marvel movies, and, you know, they basically have him as executive producer, give him a cameo, and say, fuck off, here's your paycheck. But I would definitely have Toriyama involved some way, you know, like, whether it be with coming up with ideas and sharing ideas, essentially, for the picture, so that's what I have to say. Quick water break. Okay, but essentially, moving off of that, thanks Benjamin for your comment. But let's move off from there and get into some other stuff. That let's see where. Okay, right here. Here's another YouTuber who actually commented on my last segment, my last section of this segment, and here's what he had to say. We kind of went back and forth, and I told him that that essentially that I would address his comments and ideas in my in my next segment. So here you go. The YouTuber is username is Michael Crosby, and this is what he basically had to say. And we actually went back and forth for a little while, so I'm not going to mention my statements, but here we go. Anyways, his first comment was, what do you think of a live-action Dragon Ball Z movie or series? For me, I would support it if there was a large budget for the movie, $100 to $200 million, and the story and acting / casting is done right. But what do you think, and also everybody else, what if the movie starts with, and this is where he kind of segues, what if the movie starts with Bardock's story, then he gets killed by Frieza, and then when Goku goes, and then we go straight to the Saiyan saga with Raditz, and then we get flashbacks while they fight of Goku and his history before Dragon Ball Z, and then the movie ends when Goku and Raditz dies, and then tells us of Vegeta and Nappa, and then a cutscene to Vegeta and Nappa receiving Raditz transmission, maybe and later a cutscene that teases Frieza. Okay, well, that was his first comment, and firstly, of course, I would want that. You know, I would love to have a Dragon Ball Z movie series specifically with a large budget. You know, like, here's my idea. First off, for this to happen, it depends on two things, and this is my personal opinion. In the comment section below, anybody can, you know, let me know what you personally think. But I believe that can only happen if two things happen. One, and this is my personal favorite, 20th Century Fox gives up the rights to another studio. I personally think that 20th Century Fox doesn't really have any idea what they're doing. They personally don't even know how to make good comic book movies anymore. So, and that's not me trying to bash them. I still like Fox, don't mind you, but I believe that they're obviously not on par with, you know, other companies, you know, like, you know, Warner Brothers or even, you know, Marvel Studios and Disney and stuff. So I personally think they should give up the rights. And if you're wondering who I think should get the rights, well, you know what? I say Disney. Fuck it. Disney has been buying rights up the ass, people, for the last couple years. They've been buying left and right, fucking right and left. And why not pick up one of the greatest anime properties of all time, Disney? Pick up fucking, go over to Fox, tell them to bitch slap themselves, and fucking grab the Dragon Ball rights. Because you know what, people? I would give nothing more. I would give my left nut. And I'm exaggerating, of course, because I would never want to do that. But I would go really far to see fucking Disney put out a Dragon Ball movie. How badass would it be to have Disney as a fucking major motion picture studio develop a Dragon Ball movie? Let alone a Dragon Ball Z movie, but a seriously well done, kid friendly, but overall accepting by the wide masses Disney Dragon Ball movie. I personally love to pay to see that. Fox did a terrible job, and whether or not they'd ever reboot it, I personally personally from my point of view has not led up to anything. I mean, like, it's been a pretty decently long time since, Dragon Ball Evolution to now, so, and they really haven't said anything or done anything, so I personally think if they're not going to do anything, Fox needs to give up the rights to another studio, and I say personally Disney needs to put it out. I mean, come on, they know they can put out good quality work, and they have proven with, freaking Marvel Studios. They made Marvel Studios what it is today. I mean, like, if it wasn't for Disney, Marvel Studios would still be shit. They would still be a movie franchise studio that makes no sense. And now they got Star Wars, and we all know Star Wars, the new trilogy, is going to be banging. It's going to be badass. It's going to be explosions everywhere. Fucking straight up Luke Skywalker coming back. Fucking awesome stuff. Disney needs to get the rights. I'm just saying. I want, if there's ever a, you know what, guys? If there was ever a petition, start that petition. I want that to be a petition. Disney, get the rights to Dragon Ball now. Make a movie, put it out next year, or post Avengers. I don't know. After Avengers is done, then put out Dragon Ball the movie. That's what I say. And just call it simply Dragon Ball. Don't call it Dragon Ball Evolution, Dragon Ball Recreation, Dragon Ball Generations, or what have you. No, simply Dragon Ball. None of that nonsense, cliche titles. Nevertheless, that's what I personally think. So, and also, too, if, and this is a real big if Fox's new X-Men series and their Deadpool series proves to be good, then possibly they can branch out and do, once again, another Dragon Ball movie. But personally, I go for Disney. Fuck it. But in the comment section below, let me know what you personally think about that topic. But nevertheless, moving off of that, here's another comment by Michael Crosby. He said, if they did do a live-action DBZ movie, should the Saiyans be CGI and motion captured, or should it be live actors? Now, this is where I kind of got defensive with the guys, because, personally, in my personal opinion, I think it's appropriate to have if you're doing a franchise, a live-action franchise, it should be actual actors playing the characters. Like, don't get me wrong, not every single character in the Dragon Ball universe could be done with live actors. I mean, like, of course some of them are going to be CG'd, like, for instance, Frieza, for example, maybe, specific Nameks, like Guru, and obviously the Shenrons, the dragons, specific creatures, and Cell, Majin Buu. There's plenty of characters that will be CG'd. And of course, anamorphic characters, dinosaurs, hell. Any type of creature is going to be motion captured or CG'd. But I personally think when it comes to actual, people that look like people, like the Saiyans, i.e. Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, I say live actors. That's what I personally think. It should be live actors. When I'm talking about these type of videos, I personally say live actors. I don't... now, this is a topic that continues to go on with his second comment, so I'm going to just read off of that one real quick. Anyways, this is his last comment. Yeah, but the reason I say that is because I think it might look silly, the hair, once again the hair, to people. Stop it with the hair, come on. Anyways, in the Saiyans, when they do it live action, especially when they go Super Saiyan, plus, can you use the original voice actors for Goku and Vegeta? And the body and muscles could also change when they do their transformations, and second Frieza and Cell and Majin Buu will automatically be CGI, so why not the Saiyans? Not everybody has to be CGI, but all I'm saying is that Goku should probably be a mix of CGI and motion captured by martial artists. Look, the Hulk was CGI, now he's bringing up... You gotta bring up Holy Ground, guy, I'm telling you. You just had to bring up the Holy Grail of CGI characters. You had to bring up the Hulk, didn't you? Anyways, Also was Superman's cape in Man of Steel. Green Lantern's suit was also completely CGI, so could it be done? Okay, now here's what I have to say to that, and of course, once again, I'm not trying to bash anybody, and I'm not trying to get all, like, really offensive or defensive towards your comments, sir. All I'm trying to say is that this is what I personally feel about it. If you feel differently, then that's you, but this is how I personally think on the topic of doing motion-captured CG versions of the main characters of the DBZ universe, like Goku and Vegeta. Now, first off, there's been tons of people who have stated that this is the way Dragon Ball Z movies should be in a franchise. Like, it should be motion-captured characters or CGI characters. And I don't really believe you could do that. You know, it feels kind of, in my opinion, it just defeats the purpose. You know, when I think of live action, that's what I think. Live actors doing the shit. You know, I don't believe it should be motion-captured. Specifically, actors and characters that look human. Goku looks human. That's why he lives on Earth so well, because he looks like a human. The Namekians are a different thing. If you want to motion capture Namekians, I'm all for it. Go ahead and do it. But the Saiyans, you don't really need to do that. You know, the only thing that really makes them look, you know, different from regular humans is, one, their hair, two, their muscles, which isn't really that big of a deal, their power, obviously, and of course, their tails. And also their ability to transform into the Great Ape. But I don't really believe that you need to do that. Now, on the topic of having the original voice actors, or at least the voice actors we love, i.e. Sean Shamill's Goku or Chris Sabat's Vegeta, I've heard various people say they would love that, but to me personally, it feels too much like a fanboy's dream. You know, it feels like if we can't have everything, then we can't have it all. You know, like, that's how it kind of feels, and I don't think that's the way you should go into having this happen. You know, as much as I would love to see like Sean Schimmel or Chris Sabat have a part in a DBZ live action movie just out of the sake of having them in it, I don't think they should specifically voice Goku and like have an actual martial artist motion capture Goku. I don't really think that's necessary, and I just want to know what other people think. In the comment section below, let me know what you personally think about that. For me personally, I don't think it's necessary, and I kind of feels like it defeats the purpose of doing a live action franchise, but that's just me. And anyways, when it comes to other you know, stuff like Goku and Vegeta and other Saiyan characters, like changing their bodies and transforming and stuff like that, I don't think it's that hard to do. A good example is this. In the movie Kung Fu Hustle, or I think that was the movie, there's a specific scene where the guy, I forgot his name, he was actually a producer on Dragon Ball Evolution, no, he actually was, but I forgot his name for some sad reason. Anyways, there's a section in the movie where he's banging on this steel, like, wall, like, multiple times. And there's a section where you see his arms continue to pound the ground up and down. And every single time he bangs his fists on the steel floor, his muscles grow and veins start to pop out really Hulk-like. And I think that's how you do it. If you do that, Dragon Ball Z live action franchise, that's how you do it. Goku hypes up for the Kaioken. He's continuing to get bigger. That's how you do it. Same thing with Super Saiyan transformations. You know, you see Vegeta powering up against Cell or the androids. His muscles start to grow. It's very simple to do that. So I don't think you specifically need to have motion capture suits to pull that off. It's simple, you know, simple special effects. And plus, or you can just go organic with it. You just have your live actors every single movie, or in between each movie, you just have them grow bigger. You know, and that's what I would do personally. Like, if I had my actor who was playing Goku for every single movie, I would tell him to get bigger and bigger for each movie. Kind of similar to Hugh Jackman. And Hugh Jackman, for preparations for Wolverine, he gets bigger every single movie. Every single movie that he's premiering as Wolverine, he gets bigger. I mean, like, if you compare him from the first X-Men to the last Wolverine solo movie, he's huge. He's so fucking huge in comparison. He doesn't even look the same. And that's what's amazing about having live actors do it, because they can physically get into the part. And I personally think if you have like a really hardcore martial artist who's also, very happy-go-lucky and a good actor who's playing your Goku, then they can pull it off. And that's just what I personally think. Alright, so my next thing that I really want to talk about real quick is castings. I've kind of like avoided this for the majority of my these segments, the actual casting of Dragon Ball characters. But over the past several weeks, I've kind of spent some extra time, like looking at actors who are that personally appeal to me, and I would feel are have appropriate qualities into being these characters. So I'm gonna just like name off the characters that I have and just see what you guys think. Now, first off, I'm not saying these actors should be set in stone casted as these characters. I'm just saying these are actors that I looked at and said, you know what, I like them. They look like the part. They could act the part. They're the same age rank, and I think they could really flourish in these projects, in these movies as these characters. So that's what I personally think. But I'm not trying to say they should be set in stone casted, because obviously this is the movie business. Actors come and go, and obviously this is if you were making a Dragon Ball Z live action movie with a huge studio budget and studio backing right now. Like, I'm not, like, if you were, like, saying, like, okay, hey, guys, we're making a Dragon Ball Z movie right now, and then, like, 10 years from now, you get into the casting, obviously, these actors are not going to be fit for the role at that point in time, but this is for the sake of the argument if you're doing it now, or at least, like, in the next, like, 5 years from now. So that's what I personally think. Anyways, let's get right down to it. Let's start off with the characters I'm gonna be naming off. I only picked a few characters because obviously there's a ton of characters, and most of them I believe should be casted by unknowns. So let's get right down to it. The characters I've picked out are Launch, Chi-Chi, Bulma, Master Roshi, Raditz, Kami, Frieza, and King Vegeta. So let's get right started. For Launch, I pick Elodie Yung. I think she's a pretty awesome actress. I think she looks the part, and I think she could be a real cool, badass version of Launch in a live-action movie. I've seen her in various movies, and she kind of has that spunky but cutesy, badass chick kind of vibe to her, so I think she would be badass as Launch, in my personal opinion. But moving off of that, going into Chi-Chi, I picked, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce these names, but Liu Yifei, I think that's how you say her name. She was, I liked her when she did the movie, Forbidden Kingdom with Jackie Chan and Jet Li. I mostly stated that because when I first saw Forbidden Kingdom, I always felt that movie should have been the first Dragon Ball movie, because it had all the elements and fantastical elements that should have went into Dragon Ball Evolution, but never did, ironically. And I always thought she was awesome in that movie. When I see that movie, she's like one of my favorite characters, along with Jackie Chan. And she just looks like Chi-Chi. She has the beautiful, like, consistency of Chi-Chi, but she also has, like, the right volume to be as angry and outspoken as the character Chi-Chi. And I like that, and I want to see that happen. Now we get into something more trickier, which is, of course, Bulma. Now, there's tons of actresses throughout Hollywood, throughout the industry that can pull off Bulma, but then it depends, It depends on what type of Bulma you're doing. If you're doing a Dragon Ball version of Bulma or a Dragon Ball Z version of Bulma, then it depends. And I'm specifically going with Dragon Ball Z version of Bulma, and the same thing goes with the Chi-Chi and Launch. Let's see. My first choice for Bulma, and I have two actresses here for Bulma. My first choice was Michelle Trachtenberg. I think that's how you say her last name. I picked her because I always been a fan of hers. Like, she always felt like a good actress to play Bulma, because she has the great element of an all-American girl kind of actress, which is something that Bulma should be. And I always kind of got the feeling that she was Bulma in a sense. Like, she's funny, she's smart, she's a good actress, she's cute, And she always has like that element when she's acting. She always has that element that she's kind of playing a high school girl when she's obviously a lot older. And that's how I kind of always felt Bulma was in the anime. Like when you watch Bulma in the anime from Dragon Ball to all the way to the end of Z, it kind of just felt like no matter how old she gets or how progressive she gets throughout the series, she always seems like that high school, like that girl next door, high school sweetheart kind of girl, and she kind of carries that along with her aging character, and that's how I always thought of her, and that's how I think Michelle could play her as, and plus, I've always wanted to see her be in a big, fantastical, like big budget movie, and that's just personally my idea. Another actress for Bulma, and this is something I recently thought of, was, and I'm sorry if I say this wrong, Emilia Clarke, I think that's how you say her name. She's obviously the main actress from the Game of Thrones series. You probably have seen her before, if you're a fan of Game of Thrones. And I think she has the good and right qualities for playing Bulma. I mean, like, she obviously has the fantastical side down. She obviously looks the part. She obviously can act the part. But, you know, like, she has all the qualities of, like, what I would want as a Bulma in a live-action franchise. And if only whichever studio or whoever's making it got her to be in it, that would be amazing. That's just my personal opinion. But, personally, out of the two I chose, who do you think is more suited to play Bulma in a live-action franchise? Is it Michelle or the other actress I named? So, just let me know. But anyways, moving off of that, going into Raditz, the first villain for Dragon Ball Z live-action franchise. And this one was kind of hard to do because, obviously, we get into Saiyan characters, and casting Saiyans is pretty hard, but I tried my best to try and find someone, so let's see what you guys think. Anyways, I chose, and I'm sorry if I'm saying butchering his name. I should have really, like, studied these names more than doing this video, but bear with me. Masa Yamaguchi, I think that's how you say his name. When I look at him, for some reason, I just think that guy's Raditz. You give him a badass script, and then you set him up with an amazing background, and just have him have that badass Saiyan, like, Raditz gear, and, like, he's obviously, like, he's an outlaw, he's a Saiyan warrior, he's obviously a badass warrior, make him look like beast as possible. That's Raditz right there. I mean, like, if you look at him right now, he just looks like Raditz, personally. I mean, like, you don't have to have him have, like, the super exaggerated long hair. Have him have, like, at least, like, decently long hair. Give him the gear. Give him the great script. Give him the great background. That's Raditz for me, personally. But moving off of that and going into Kami, I casted Peter Mensah. Obviously, you probably are familiar with him from the 300 movie, and of course the Spartacus Star series. So I'm a huge fan of his. I think he's awesome, and I've seen various fans put fan castings and put him as, like, he should be like a Piccolo or a Kami. And personally, like, if they were to cast him as Kami, I would actually like that and see that. I would like to see that happen. You know, I think he would be great as Kami, and personally, I personally would love to see, like, that happen more than him as Piccolo. Because personally, I think when it comes to Piccolo, I think they should cast someone who's a lot younger than Peter. But if you were able to get him, I think he should be Kami, in my personal opinion. But moving off of that, the easiest one is Frieza. I already mentioned this in a previous segment. I say Cate Blanchett should play Frieza. But moving off of that to my last character, King Vegeta, is Hiroyuki Sanada. Obviously, you're probably also familiar with him from movies like The Wolverine, and of course 47 Ronin and stuff like that. And I always liked him. I think he always plays really awesome, badass characters. And for some reason, every time I look at his face and hear him speak, I think Vegeta or someone like Vegeta. You know, like, and plus, of course, seeing as how he obviously does not have the physique for Vegeta or the youth of Vegeta, I say King Vegeta, and that's my personal opinion. But I think that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed that for a second. I spent a decently long time coming up with this list, and of course there's no major characters in there because I think personally when you're casting Saiyan characters like Goku, Vegeta, or Gohan, or even Piccolo, or the Z Warriors, I think you should cast unknowns. Personally, I don't think anybody specifically famous should be casted. And obviously, out of the list, I picked actors who were obviously fit to play the role, can act the role, look the part, and of course, or of the right age rank. Because that always, freaking pisses me off when you have like an actor who's like in their 40s and who's trying to play like a high school student. That always pisses me off. So I feel if you're getting an actor to play your Goku, he should be the same age as Goku is in the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. He should be in his early 20s. That's what I say. Nevertheless, that's the end of my casting there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you differ with mine, in the comment section below, let me know what you personally think of my list. And also, tell me who you think would better suit the roles of these actors. Just try to not be too critical or too overly exaggerated with it, because I've seen tons of fan castings and a lot of them are not good by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, granted, they're fans, and I like that a lot of people are inspired to make these lists, but I'm just trying to say none of them are really that good. And I'm not trying to say mine's better or mine's any good, but I guess it depends on whose preference you rather go with. So, but anyways, moving off of that, I guess that's going to be it. I've rambled far too long. I have a complete series here of videos that I'm pretty sure all of you can appreciate, and all of that I can sit down and be like, oh, I'm grateful for what I've been able to accomplish. First off, I like to, before I end this, I like to thank Chris Hess. He's a YouTuber who gave me the idea of creating this series, and I'm sorry if, sir, if I misunderstood you when you introduced this idea to me. But my personal opinion was to always have it be the way I did it. I always pictured it to be a 7-part series of videos of me talking about how it should develop a Dragon Ball live-action movie franchise. That's just the way I thought of it. If you thought of like me directing and creating live-action movies, I guess we thought differently in the comments section of my YouTube. But I had no intentions of doing that. No offense to your ideas. It's just that I've already been there, done that with the whole fan series stuff, and if it doesn't have like a good enough like payoff for me, then I don't really have any intentions of doing a fan series in the style of like K&K Productions or Robot Underdog or whoever the fuck. I don't really have any intentions to do what they're doing. But for anybody who actually is interested or would want me to do it, I'm not saying I would never do it. I'm just saying I would not want to do it. If I was ever going to do a live-action Dragon Ball Z anything, I would want it to be official. I don't want it to a fan series or a fan trailer or a fan film. I want it to be 100% official. That's just personally my preference. But anyways, that doesn't mean I would never do it. I mean, like, maybe one day I'll do a live-action Dragon Ball Z video just for fans and fans of my YouTube and subscribers and such. But if I was ever going to do it, I would do something Master Roshi related. That's what I would personally do. That's my personal opinion. Because, at the core of everything, Dragon Ball as a series and as a storyline, it's a comedy. It's first and foremost a comedy. It's action and adventure, but it's first a comedy at the heart of it. So I would surely, if I was ever going to do a live-action Dragon Ball anything, it would be sincerely a comedy, and it would be Master Roshi and Krillin day off. That's what it would be. I would go into Kami House on the island, hang out with Master Roshi, and that's what I would want to do. Nevertheless, I don't really see that happening anytime soon, but I'd still like to send a thank you to Chris for giving me this idea, and I hope you liked what I accomplished, and I hope you like what I did overall. And that's going to be it. I'd also like to thank Nahum Dyer, who's a YouTuber and subscriber of mine. And I'd like to thank you because you're always commenting on my segments. You're always commenting on my DBZ videos. And I really appreciate it. I think it's awesome that you do that. And I also like how you always come up with ideas for these segments and come up with interesting topics and theories for me to comment on. So I'd like to thank you as well. But nevertheless, thank you to all the subscribers and all the DBZ fans who've talked to me over the time. about this certain type of topic. Nevertheless, I think that's going to be it. I love Dragon Ball. I've always been a Dragon Ball fan. And I believe there should be a live-action franchise. That's just how I personally feel. That's how I personally want. I said this in the beginning, and I'm going to say it in the end. One day, when I'm old and feral, I just want, and on my deathbed, what I want is to go to the theater and sit down and see Goku versus Vegeta, and just die happy. That's what I want, And if that doesn't happen, then I don't really know what to say. But nevertheless, I love Dragon Ball. I always love Dragon Ball. I'm always going to try and encourage this idea. And whether anybody stays with me or just goes on with your own thing, that's all cool because I'm doing my Dragon Ball podcast and I'm going to continue this topic on there. So this isn't really the end, guys. But nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment, creating a Dragon Ball live-action franchise. I hope you guys enjoyed. And in the words of Goku, till we meet again.